With that said, I think that we'll go ahead and get started. And as Alicia knows, I like to keep these things very informal, yet informative. So at any time, if you should have a question, don't hesitate to stop me and ask me that question. One thing that I do want you to realize is that because I did set up the meeting, is I'm the dominant voice. And sometimes I tend to talk a little bit loud, and to get my attention, you're going to have to talk louder than me. So I will not be offended if you have to scream, "Bob, I have a question." So we'll go, okay, yeah. I'm sorry? It is. This is just it's a private session just between us. As we have held some other webinars that have had several institutions on it, this is one that we set up specifically for you guys. So it's just us. So feel free, as I said, to stop me and ask questions, or if you have any comments or whatever, just feel free. So, of course, as we start every presentation, I first want to thank you, for taking the time to attend the presentation on this new telemedicine service that we have called Doctor Connection Benefits. A very important function of Impact is to be aware of new trends in the banking marketplace that can create revenue opportunities for our clients and our prospects. And one of those events is the Affordable Care Act, as well as a rapidly emerging telemedicine healthcare market that can benefit both the financial institution and your account holders. And because of higher premiums and higher deductibles and higher copays that are a result of the Affordable Care Act, is many consumers are looking for ways to reduce those escalating out-of-pocket health care costs. And how are these health care changes really going to affect your account holders? The Affordable Care Act has created a lot of uncertainty among employers and consumers alike, and will eventually result in some employers completely dropping medical coverage as an employee benefit, which is not a good thing. We all know that. And that's going to force those consumers into either some sort of a individual plan or government option for their health insurance coverage. And with some 30 million new insured consumers obtaining health insurance, is many doctors are going to be swamped with requests for those services. But regardless of whether consumers are able to keep their current health care plans or be forced into a government plan, they'll experience higher deductibles for the most part and higher copays in the future. So let's talk a little bit about what telemedicine really is. Telemedicine is a national network of board-certified physicians with an average of 15 years experience who use electronic health records. They use the telephone, video, and online consultations to provide treatment and even write short-term prescriptions. Now, these physicians are available 24 hours a day, 365 days a year, including holidays and weekends, believe it or not. And this network allows telemedicine members to access quality health care from either home, work, or even while they're traveling, as opposed to going to an emergency room or a doctor's office or urgent care center. These are all highly qualified physicians whose credentials are reviewed every 3 years. So we know that the physicians that are part of this network are up to speed on what they need to. Yes, and that is something that we need to change in the slide, and thank you for noticing that, and I'm going to get that done. I was actually supposed to do that yesterday, but it is every 3 years. It is when they are reviewed. Now, many institutions, when we talk with them, they think that telemedicine is something new, and it really isn't. This began back in the 1960s when NASA first put men into space. And this concept allowed an astronaut's health status to be monitored via telecommunications to a doctor back on Earth. And with the development of new technology and the required implementation of electronic health records for all patients, telemedicine has evolved today into a very valuable health benefit for large employer groups, for associations, and for banks and credit unions. So when might you use telemedicine? I'm sorry? Well, yes, it's someone who just, they don't want to take the time to call their family physician and make an appointment. As I'm going to explain further in this presentation, is the AMA has some numbers on how hard it is to get in touch with your doctor and to get those appointments set up. And we all know that the quicker that we're seen and our illness is diagnosed and we can begin treatment, the faster that we're going to get better. And so we'll explain just who all can see or use telemedicine and how it's really going to help. Now, what this slide demonstrates is that telemedicine is really going to be most useful when your family physician is not available, such as after hours and weekends and holidays, as I mentioned before. Or if you're considering going to an emergency room but not really sure if you need to, is you can use telemedicine anywhere in the U.S., even while you're on vacation or on a business trip. Now, what are some of the conditions that can be treated by telemedicine? And this question is asked quite a bit. And there's really many conditions that can be treated by using telemedicine. A few examples include, the cold or flu, allergies, nausea and vomiting, some urinary tract infections, rashes, sunburn, poison ivy infections, and many other conditions which don't really require true emergency room or urgent care services. Or if you or a dependent experience a medical problem in the middle of the night, such as severe stomach pain or chest pain, and you need to talk to a doctor as soon as possible to find out what's wrong. With telemedicine, you can do that without having to get dressed and driving to an emergency room or urgent care center. And what is that emergency room alternative? It's not always the best alternative. You could drive to the emergency room or an urgent care clinic, or you could wait to see your family physician the next day, but it might not be the next day. It could be 2 or 3 days. So maybe telemedicine would be a better alternative. Now, here are just a few interesting facts. It may be hard to reach your primary care physician nights, weekends, and holidays. We all know that. And according to the AMA, 70%, and that's a large number, 70% of all doctor visits and 80% of urgent care visits could be handled by telemedicine. And even 40% of emergency room visits are not really emergencies and could also be handled by utilizing telemedicine. And as you guys probably know, as I do, I have 5 children and 13 grandchildren, but anyone who has been ill or had a child who's ill and had to wait for long periods of time in a germ-infested emergency room in the middle of the night would know how telemedicine could have been a better alternative and made their lives much easier in most of those situations. So where has telemedicine been used in the past? Well, large companies like Pepsi, BMW, Marriott, Wells Fargo, Procter & Gamble, Hospital Corporation of America, Aetna, and the list just goes on and on, have found telemedicine to be a fantastic employee benefit, which not only provides convenience, savings, and security for their employees, but it has dramatically lowered the company's healthcare cost. By reducing some of the visits to emergency rooms and urgent care centers and doctors' offices, combined with the resulting lost time from work, these companies are saving many thousands of dollars in healthcare cost. As an example, I'm going to show you a Pepsi case study, and this is really pretty interesting. This is a case study from a large Pepsi bottler. Sure. Well, in a lot of cases, these major corporations are actually giving it to their employees as a health benefit. And they're doing that because they're self-insured. The more that their employees use emergency rooms and doctor's offices and urgent care centers, the premiums for that company are higher. So the less usage, they're lower. And so when they can convert, or at least divert, those employees to using telemedicine, it drastically reduces those premium costs. Oh yeah, no, it's actually been around and used in the public. Oh gosh, for about 12 years now. There's over 8.2 million users of telemedicine, and that's just in the U.S. alone. That's just in the U.S. alone. Now, this case study with this large Pepsi bottler, who's located in the Midwest, they have 2,300 employees in 26 locations within 7 states. And they were looking for ways to slow or stop the escalating cost of their self-insured employee health plan. I was just saying that, I think. And they decided to implement a telemedicine benefit to see if they could reduce the very high cost of emergency room visits and doctor's office visits. Pepsi is, I believe, in its 4th year of providing this telemedicine benefit for full-time employees. And some of the results are really pretty good. They have experienced proven annual savings of over $227,000, of which $122,000 of that was from actually using telemedicine instead of the emergency room, and another $19,000 by using telemedicine instead of going to a doctor's office. Plus, once you add in the savings from employees using telemedicine instead of taking time off of work, which amounted to over $82,000 annually. In addition to the healthcare cost, they experienced 99% employee satisfaction with the program. The average response time for a physician to call them back was 16 minutes, and 99% of the employees surveyed said they would recommend telemedicine to their family and friends. So how does the Doctor Connection telemedicine plan stack up to this Pepsi case study? Is foremost, service and member satisfaction is the cornerstone of the Doctor Connection and Impact program. And our providers experience 97% member satisfaction with the physicians. On average, our doctors are resolving these calls 91% of the time. Now, that other 9% are times when they need to refer that member either to their primary care physician, or they've determined that the illness is severe enough that they need to contact 911 or go to the emergency room right away. That's one of the first processes, is to screen exactly what the issue is with that patient, so we're sure that we're handling them properly. and members can expect a doctor's call back within 20 to 30 minutes with an average consulting time of only 12 minutes. And who are some of the physicians that are providing these services? Well, these are just a few of the medical groups that comprise the Physicians Network. There's Duke University Medical Center. Let's see. We've got Tulane University, Vanderbilt, Johns Hopkins, Cleveland Clinic, Mount Sinai, and that's just to name a few. But these have all established telemedicine centers that are staffed 24 hours a day and 365 days a year. And in addition to these major hospital groups, there are thousands of other physicians that are part of this network. And who are the telemedicine companies that have partnered to make telemedicine available on a voluntary basis for financial institutions and their account holders? A company that we're working with and partnering with is called Doctor Connection Benefits, and they are the catalyst that makes it possible to offer a voluntary telemedicine plan to account holders of your financial institution. At Doctor Connection and Impact, our goal is to provide a new revenue opportunity for your bank, while at the same time making available an affordable health care benefit option for account holders that could help them lower their health care cost. So Doctor Connection Benefits has partnered with 5 leading telemedicine providers and a nationally recognized third-party administration company to enable us to meet those goals. Now, with our economies of scale, we've negotiated the best available rates for our clients and prospects while delivering superior service to our clients and their account holders. As a result of these partnerships, we can help lower healthcare costs for participating account holders while generating an ongoing non-interest revenue stream for our clients. So how does that program work? The account holders can subscribe to the program for $14.95 monthly for an individual or $19.95 for the entire family. Now, this monthly fee is collected either by credit card, debit card, or ACH, so there are no billing or collection requirements for the financial institution, and that's always a good thing. The account holders always have the right to cancel the service for any reason at any time if they're not completely satisfied with the program. Now, you're probably wondering where the financial institution, makes their revenue off this. Well, the financial institution is going to receive a promotional and marketing allowance equal to 20% of the monthly telemedicine membership fees collected from their account holders. So what might it look like as far as those revenue expectations? On this slide, we're trying to demonstrate a fee generation projection, and this is not a guarantee, but it's what you should expect with telemedicine. But this pro forma, it's a sample pro forma, and we're using 12,500 eligible account holders, and eligible is going to be 18 years of age or older. And these are personal accounts, no business or organizational accounts. Okay, and we're going to take a very conservative assumption that 4% or 500 of that 12,500 are going to enroll in the program during the first 15 months with an average monthly subscription fee of $17. Some, of course, are going to take the $14.95, and some are going to buy the $19.95, so we're going to average that out. So that would produce about $102,000 of membership fees annually. With the 20% promotion and marketing allowance, the financial institution would earn $20,400 annually. the financial institution's capital investment to initiate this program is extremely low. In fact, a one-time charge of $250, and that's it, and that's going to be used to customize and set up the enrollment web portal. And then if we do some optional direct mail campaigns, we would expect for you guys to pay the postage on that. Now, in the event that your particular institution is averse to paying those direct mail postage because you're really not sure what type of response that you're going to get from that, is we'll take that risk. And in return for that risk and us paying that postage, is we will simply just reduce the promotional and marketing allowance from 20% down to 15%. But that's your call, just however you would like to do that. So let's take a look at the marketing and administration support and what we really do provide with the program. We're going to provide things such as customized enrollment URLs with a customized web portal, online enrollment portal that supports credit card, debit card, and ACH payments, marketing and enrollment activity tracking and reporting so you always know what's happening with your program. And we also do product fulfillment. We have marketing materials and email marketing campaigns. So we're trying to take as much of the work out of your hands as possible, but letting you be involved as much as you would like to. So let's take a look at an example of what a typical marketing campaign might look like. Our enrollment campaign promotes telemedicine. It creates account holder awareness and drives traffic to your customized enrollment portal. The campaign is not just selling, it provides a wealth of relevant information about health and wellness, as well as the benefits of using telemedicine. A typical marketing plan consists of an email campaign, and then of course some custom web banners. We have print collateral. We have newsletter ad copy, and user testimonials. And for those account holders who don't have an email address on file, is we do provide that optional co-branded direct mail offer. Now, at your institution, I'm not sure, just how many of your account holders you actually have their email on file. That varies from institution to institution. We have some that say, well, we have very little, and we have some that say we have about 80%. So that really depends on how we will be marketing the program and what cost if you do the direct mail to reach the optimal amount of account holders. So here's some, yes. Well, that's a good question, and John, out of all the presentations that I've given, that is the first time that I've had that question, and so I'm going to have to get back with you with an answer on that. But just off the top of my head, I don't see why not, because yep. And you should, and hopefully those non-customers will like the service and like the institution and come over and open up an account, right? All right, great. Okay. If you don't mind, let me kind of go through it, and then we can answer those questions, because I may be getting to that in this, if you don't mind. And just for some reason, Alicia, I'm having a real hard time hearing you. So I don't know if you're a little further away from the speaker or what. Or what. Okay, that's much better. There we go. Okay. Now we are going on to some of the examples of the marketing material. As I mentioned, we do have customized landing pages with an enrollment portal link and contact information and more information on enrollment assistance. And so we help you set all of these up. We also have what we call nurture marketing campaign materials. And these are going to be co-branded with your financial institution colors and your logos. And it's going to feature engaging, interesting content that will encourage enrollment and return site visits. The emails provide interesting educational, health, and wellness content. They help push traffic to the enrollment site. They build trust with your account base. And the materials are consistent. They're always going to look very first class like what you're seeing here. And here's an example of some of the digital collateral material that we have available as well. And what this shows is some of this digital collateral material, which will be branded with your colors and logo again. They consist of enrollment emails with engaging, compelling copy. We have the nurture emails with interesting testimonials and health tips, multiple streaming web banners to attract attention and connect account holders to the enrollment portal. And just a few more examples of some of the items that we use of the digital collateral material. We do have, let's see here, I actually think I skipped a slide. Oh, I see what I did. I actually bear with me 1 second, I apologize. Yes. Okay, that was the nurture marketing material that we talked about. And the digital collateral, this shows some of the digital collateral material. Went through those. And the web banners, we talked about that. Okay, I'm sorry, I think I'm getting back on track now. We also have newsletter and teller handouts and teller statements. We have email examples. These will all be co-branded with your logo and your colors, just to kind of show you just some examples of what those are going to look like. We do have the newsletter ad copy. We've had several institutions that have used that with good success, as well as teller handouts and statement inserts. And these are samples of the optional direct mail pieces that we have. And these are like a fold-over postcard with the inside that really explains all the benefits of just what telemedicine is. And we do have a couple of different versions of those that are available. And the complete health link that we talked about that's custom branded for your financial institution. And this is going to contain all kind of value information there for the account holders, and it's available to them 24/7. So let's take a minute just to summarize how the Doctor Connection telemedicine program can benefit the account holders and their families. Now, telemedicine members do receive unlimited video, phone, and email access to quality physicians anytime, from anywhere, 24 hours a day, 365 days a year, as we had mentioned. There are no copays. There's no deductibles. It's secure and portable electronic health records. There's fewer long waits in emergency room or urgent care clinics. There's even a special pediatric physicians network for children. So when they call in about their child, the doctor they're going to be speaking with and making that diagnosis is a pediatric physician. And there's no age restrictions on the coverage as well. So it's a very inexpensive way to have medical care for the uninsured or the underinsured. And the only cost is the low monthly telemedicine membership fee of $14.95 or $19.95 for the entire family. So now let's take a quick look at what the benefits are for your financial institution. With our voluntary telemedicine program, the financial institution can generate a new ongoing stream of non-interest revenue, as well as improve account holder loyalty and satisfaction. As we handle the enrollment, we handle the fulfillment and the administration of the program, and we provide enrollment and administrative activities reports. And there's no significant capital investment, as we talked about before, just the $250 for us to set up your web portal and get you started. We don't require the financial institution to provide any account holder financial data, such as account numbers or balances or credit or debit card information. All we're going to need are name, mailing address, and email address to conduct the awareness and marketing campaign. So if you guys are interested, what would the next steps be? If you have an interest in pursuing this opportunity, is we can provide a copy of this presentation, which you've asked me for, and I'm going to do, along with a customized financial pro forma specific to your institution. And all that we need in order to do that is the approximate number of households in your account base, excluding business and organizational accounts, as I mentioned. It's just personal accounts. And along with the proposal and pro forma, is we will provide a copy of the voluntary plan services agreement, and that's just for your review. Most institutions want their attorneys to take a look at it and just see, so we want you to go ahead and just have that. And then after that's received, within a week or 10 days, we should probably schedule a follow-up phone conference and answer any more questions that we don't answer today. And then once a decision is made to move forward with the plan, we can have your program in place and operational within 15 business days from the date of our initial implementation and planning webinar with your team. In addition, should you have any interest in providing this telemedicine service for your employees as a employer-paid employee benefit, is we can talk about that as well. And I think, John, yesterday in speaking with Bob Sr., that may have come up, and we actually, is I have a special pricing sheet here, and I believe you guys said that you had around 120 employees. Is that correct? Okay, 135. Okay. And we have this broken down price-wise by number of employees, but I'm going to drop you down one more tier. It would normally be $6.50 per month per employee. I can get you down to $5.50 per month per employee for telemedicine. And I don't know whether you're self-funded or how you're handling the health insurance. Okay, good. Then I think that the employees will find this extremely helpful. Ever since we have had this, we have used it several times ourselves. And what I've been so pleased with is how quick it happens. Is just last week, my wife had a cold and a cough for about a week. She delayed going to the doctor, even though I told her to, or to call telemedicine because we were going to visit friends in the Georgia mountains. Well, she didn't, and when she came back, the cold was worse, and she goes, "I've got to call the doctor." I said, "No, you're going to call telemedicine." And within 28 minutes, and I actually recorded this on my cell phone, the whole thing, she had a prescription that was written for antibiotics and for a decongestant to get her started, and they call that in directly to that pharmacy that you normally use. And because of the electronic health records, the next time she does go see her regular family doctor, he will know that she had used telemedicine and was diagnosed and was prescribed this medication. So it's a great time saver as you can start to get well quicker, which is going to keep those employees at work more often. Now, they might not like that quite as much, but anyway, it's good for you guys. So with that said, that pretty much does end the presentation. So I know that there's a few questions that you guys have, so feel free to fire away with those questions, and I'll try to answer those the best I can. I think we can do that. Is one thing that we do need to realize is that telemedicine for the past 10 or 12 years has mainly been used by large employer groups, and has just now, within the last several months, has been developed into a voluntary program for financial institutions and for associations. So it's a little bit early for us in trying to get references, but we can at least let you talk with people to see how the process went and how it's going. Yes. Okay, sure, sure. That's no problem. No problem at all. Yeah, because what you'll find is when you talk with the companies, is HR loves it because their expenses have dropped down. When you talk with the employees, they like it. Because think about this, and I know that I used to do this in the past all the time. And so when I first heard about telemedicine, I was ecstatic. But I have bad sinuses, and I'll get a sinus infection 2 or 3 times a year. And my doctor knows this, and he has for 21 years. And each time I go in, after I make the call, because first I call and say, hey doc, I got a sinus infection, can you call me in, my stuff? He goes, well, I really need to see you. And I'm thinking to myself, as you know what it is, just call Walmart and call it in for me, please, so I can get it. So it just makes life so much easier, and being able to call, 24/7, anytime, it just makes it marvelous. Is the testimonials that we have are really, really good. The doctors are very knowledgeable. They're very, very friendly. They want to help. This is actually relieving a huge burden on them. When they're at the office and working, they have them lined up. They're exposed to germs and different things, and they can't see as many patients as they can through this use of telemedicine. So it's really coming on fast and furious. It's the wave of the future. It's not going to satisfy insurance requirements because it is not an insurance product. hmm But for those people, but for those, well, it's a group of several telemedicine providers that have been brought under one umbrella by Doctor Connection Benefits. So they virtually went to the top 5 or 6 telemedicine providers that had been around for years and wanted to see if they were willing to form this group to be able to offer it on a much larger scale. And the we are the marketing arm for Doctor Connection Benefits. And so we are handling all the financial institution sales and the association sales. Oh, yes, yes, it's right. We get a small piece of that. It's even better than that. It's online video chat. So if you have the capabilities to where your iPad, your iPhone or Android phone or computer has a video camera, is you're seeing the doctor and he's seeing you. If he can have you come closer and look down your throat, he can tell how red your face is or droopy your eyes are. Yes, and that is one of their preferred ways of doing treatment is by video consult. hmm Yeah, yeah. Well, is yes and no. It's working its way in that direction state by state. Right now, about 26 states are saying yes that it does. And no, no. And of course, as the other ones are looking at it, is they think that that is the right thing to do too, because they see the relief that this not only gives the consumer, but what it gives, but but also what it gives to those healthcare providers. In 26 states, it is. Oh, I understand. Okay, yes. In that respect, no. It is, but it is. Oh shoot, how do they say this? Um, oh, I'm stuck on this one. Yeah, I'm going to look into that and just get back with you when I get back with the references on those companies and so forth. But that one is raising a question in my head as well. So I don't want to say anything that is not absolutely correct. Is you don't have to, is most people do. And it does help if you do, because those records are transferred back and forth. So when you do use your primary physician, they know that you have used telemedicine as well and what was prescribed. Um, so yes, is once you first sign up for telemedicine, and you go to the portal and you register with your information, is you're going to fill out pretty much the same information as you would when you first went to a doctor. All your health information and all of this stuff, your primary doctor, it's which drugstore you prefer, and if you have that number, put that number down. Everything that you would normally fill out at the doctor is you're going to do that. So they have those records right there in front of them. And because of the electronic portable health records, they virtually, if you have another physician and you've tied that into your program, is he has access to those records. A demonstration. Yes, there is. And actually, I have several links that I can send you on some videos that show what the process is and just how it works. And I think that'll be very helpful for you. Now I can tell you that the amount of time once you log on and start to enter all that information, it's, I don't know, 7 to 10 minutes. But then you only have to do that one time. Once it's there, it's there. And then you've got your username and password, and every time you log on is the first button you see is, do you need a consultation? And you click there to start it. Mm-hmm. Yes, we handle all of that support. Now, as you know, as a banker, when one of your customers has a problem, odds are they're probably going to call you first. But what we want you to do is to redirect them back to us, because we have the experts that are ready to take their call and answer any and all questions that they can have regarding either signing up, how their payments are made, any question about the service or how to use it, or just whatever it might be. And so we actually have several different ways that we can do that, so whatever's going to be most comfortable for you. Each month you will be receiving those reports that will be showing you exactly where you are as far as how many members are on the program, whether it's a individual plan or family plan, so you will always have that. Mm-hmm. I discounted you. Right. Are you really gonna to try to cut something off $250? Alicia. No, we've got, I understand. No, and we do appreciate that. Is we have nothing to do with that. It's the third-party administrator who sets up all the websites and operates that, and that's a very, very small fee for them to do what they do. And for it to have the capabilities, to have the security, to have the backup. There's 3 redundancy backups in the cloud for it. So there's a lot that goes into it. They just felt that the institution has to have just a little bit of skin in the game. We don't want to say it's completely free for us to put this in your institution, because to me, free doesn't really hold a whole lot of value. But if something costs me even just a little something, I seem to feel better about it. It's mainly the major associations that are out there, and then very, very large corporations that are self-insured for their employer groups. I don't have anything on hand. The only thing that I could do, John, would be to use the same percentage base of those numbers and just apply those to what you have and kind of see what that might be. But then, of course, because they're so large and what they're paying is going to be different than what you're paying. It's, yeah, yeah. Sure, absolutely. It's pretty much open-ended to where if you want out for any reason, there's no problem with that. No, we don't want you having something that you don't feel is good for your institution. Okay, great, fantastic. And maybe to cut this down a little bit too, I think on my computer I have a written script that's probably fairly close to what I talked about too. If you did not want to show this whole recording, but you would at least have the words and the slides. But I will send you that link to this recording as well. Okay, guys. All right, thank y'all, and hope y'all have a good day. Yes, sir. Thank you so much. Okay, bye, Alicia.